There are some mistakes that can slow down your process of saving money for retirement, and the goal of this video is to show you what they are and how you can avoid them. We can all agree that if things go well, we will eventually grow old. We can also agree that by then, we will want to take it easy, enjoy life, travel, spend time with loved ones, and so on. At that point, we will be working less or have stopped working completely, so our working income will decrease or not exist at all. That means that we will have a few options to support ourselves. We can live off our investments, we can rely on Social Security, which, let's be real, won't cover all our expenses. We can depend on family, or we can keep working until we physically can't anymore. These are the four options we have. Which one do you think is the most viable? But wait, before you answer, here's another important piece of information you might want to consider. Life expectancy is increasing, so expect to have a long retirement. Take a look at these numbers. In the 1950s, when my grandparents were born, global life expectancy was 46 years. Right now, global life expectancy is 73 years, but many are living well into their 80s, 90s, and even 100. And in the future, when I turn 65, the global life expectancy will be even higher. These numbers, of course, will vary depending on the quality of life and the country that you live in, but overall, people are living longer. That old talk of, I may not even be here tomorrow, so why plan for the future, is a load of nonsense, because the chances of you being here tomorrow, the day after, and so on are much higher. So count on that, and in the meantime, avoid these following mistakes when planning for your retirement. Now that we know that we have a good chance of living for many years, let's make sure we don't make the mistake that many people do when it comes to retirement, which is not contributing enough. This is a common mistake made by those who don't have a plan. But let's say that you're someone more aware and focused, which I believe that most of the subscribers to this channel are. Do you know how much you need to retire? Do you know how much you should be investing every month? Well, the general recommendation is for individuals to contribute at least 10 to 50% of their salary, but we know that personal finance is personal, so that might not be the case for you. Don't worry though, I've got you covered. I've left a link to a calculator that will help you figure out the lump sum that you will need and how much you will have to invest every month to reach that amount. Let's walk through the steps together. First, what is your current age? I'm gonna use 26 as an example. Next, at what age do you plan to retire? Let's keep it at 65 since that's the average retirement age. Now, what's your life expectancy? I'm going to change it to 100 years because what if we plan to live off our savings till 85, but we actually live longer than that? I don't want to risk running out of money, so I'm going to put in 100 years. What's your expected Social Security? For this calculation, let's not rely on Social Security, so I'll put in $0 because when planning for retirement, I would rather know what the total lump sum is. In the other income after retirement section, let's also put in $0 because we don't know if we will have a pension, a rental property income, etc. So once again, it's better to know the total amount without including any extra income. And of course, if we do happen to have extra income coming in, that would be amazing. Let's use 7% for average income return and keep the inflation rate at 3%, which is the historical average of how much prices have gone up over the years. For your current income, let's use $70,000, which is the median American income. And finally, the calculator asks us to enter the following. Out of that $70,000, how much we will need to maintain our lifestyle? Do we need all of that $70,000? Keep in mind that from our 20s to our 50s, we might have student, car, home loans, we might be contributing to our retirement, among other expenses that won't exist when we retire. The website tells me that people will need on average 70 to 80% of their current income to maintain their lifestyle when they retire. So let's use 80%. And based on this information, we will need around $3.4 million at age 65 to be able to retire with a similar lifestyle to what we have right now. It's interesting to note that this $3.4 million equates to $1 million in today's money because of inflation. When we turn 65, we will need $3.4 million to be able to buy the same things that we can buy with $1 million today. Now, this is only telling me the lump sum that we will need, but we also need to figure out how much we should be contributing every month to get there. So the next step is to use the calculator below that already has all the information that we have entered above. The only number that we will need to adjust is how much we already have invested for retirement. So let's say that we already have $20,000 in our retirement account, so we are not starting from zero. Our final result is that we will need to invest around $1,300 monthly from now on to reach $3.4 million by age 65. That is 24% of our salary every month, which might sound high compared to the general recommendation of 10 to 15%. So what happened? When doing this simulation, we were very conservative because I think it's better to use this approach when planning for the future. So we assumed a lifespan of 100 years. We didn't include other income sources, and we said that our investment would have a conservative average return of 7%. If we reduce the lifespan, if we included other sources of income, and if we use a higher rate of return, our monthly contribution for retirement would certainly be less than $1,300. But this was just to show you the step-by-step. You will actually know if you should be contributing 10, 15, or 20% for retirement when you decide to take advantage of free web pages like this and videos like this one and go work on your plan. In the simulation we just ran, I purposely did not include Social Security income because I wanted to draw attention to a common mistake people make when it comes to planning for retirement. And that mistake is relying too much on Social Security. In my opinion, the problem boils down to two simple factors. First, Social Security benefits won't be enough to cover all of your expenses. It's just not realistic. In 2022, the average monthly benefit was $1,800, which is barely enough to pay rent. And second, you are depending on something that is completely out of your control. Here's why I say that. When you see the Social Security tax being deducted from your paycheck, it's not like the government is putting the money away into account with your name on it. They are not saving it for your future. Instead, they are collecting it and giving it to those who are already retired and receiving benefits. And this is a fact. You can check it out on the Social Security Administration website. Think about it for a second. If we are working and paying Social Security tax, we are actually contributing to the income of those who are already retired. That means that when we retire, it will be those who are still working who will be paying our benefits. Got it? Okay, so what if I told you that the working age population is shrinking just as the elderly population is growing? Check out this graph. In 1970, there were about 4 workers for every person receiving benefits. By 2040, which is less than 20 years from now, it is projected that there will be 2 workers for every beneficiary. Do you understand why I'm saying that you shouldn't rely too much on Social Security? Because something could go wrong. And here's a real life example. Look at what happened in France recently. The president raised the retirement age from 62 to 64 without waiting for legislative approval because he claimed that the government would run out of funds and wouldn't be able to pay pensions to all retirees for the reasons that I just pointed out. So those who are 62 and were relying on their pension to retire will now have to wait 2 more years. Imagine if that happened to you. I don't know about you, but I would rather not take that risk. Now, here's a mistake that could completely mess up your retirement plans and all your hard-earned savings for the future. This mistake is made when transferring money to your retirement account and that's it. You don't invest it. It's just sitting there. What do I mean? It's a common mistake to think that retirement accounts like IRAs and 401k plans are investments themselves when in fact they are just accounts that hold investments. These accounts were created to incentivize people to save money by providing tax benefits that could help grow their savings more quickly than if they were investing outside of a retirement account. For example, in the US, 401k accounts are offered by employers and allow individuals to allocate part of their income for retirement before taxes are taken out, with the added bonus of some employers matching their contributions. But here's the catch: just authorizing the transfer to your retirement account isn't enough. You also need to select which assets you want to invest in. While a 401k account offered by an employer usually has a default investment strategy that automatically invests your money, other retirement accounts like IRAs require you to manually choose the stocks, bonds, and ETFs and other investments that will make up your portfolio. So if you are not careful, your retirement account could just be a piggy bank instead of an investment tool. So make sure to double check that the money in your retirement account is invested and earning interest so you can maximize your savings for the future. And if you can avoid these 3 mistakes that I mentioned in this video, I guarantee that you will be way ahead and well prepared for your retirement. If this video has helped you in any way, don't keep this information to yourself. Share it with those you know because I'm sure that many people need help. Take care and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.